Well, good morning and welcome. Appreciate you guys taking time today to talk about videos, tips and tools, and just really give your time this summer to get ready for next school year. I know it's been a long year, and so your time is definitely valuable and appreciated. So, um, given the fact that we have a small group, I think we could have a more candid conversation about certain things. If you want to kind of interject and ask questions along the way, that'd be awesome. So just really quick before we get started, I wanted to ask you what your experience is with videos and producing videos, screencasts, recordings, flipped kind of models in your classroom, video production, any of that, all the above.
Okay, so for me is I use a lot. Probably I have around 500 videos in my YouTube channel. I am a Spanish teacher, so we need videos for audio. This is part of our content, so it's like a daily work. And I do my own videos, I edit, and I took another videos and edit too.
Okay. What tools do you use besides YouTube?
Well, I don't use I have one program, it's called Movavi. So
Okay.
and it's really cheaper. I buy it for it was like a 40, I believe $40, and it's like a license for life. So they send me the CD and I use it, and after I finish with the video, I put it in my YouTube channel. This is work better. They put the video in Google, so it's work for me better. YouTube.
Nice. You know, I totally forgot about Movavi. We had some licenses a while back and have used it quite extensively as well. So it has a lot of great markup tools. So that's a great tool.
And it's really friendly, so it's really easy to learning how to edit and everything, and I love it. I have it for almost 10 years and I always use it.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay, so I think probably the most value you'll get out of this session is really kind of just awareness, but some more advanced features inside of YouTube, I would imagine, right? Is there anything specific you wanted to discuss or learn today?
Well, what I want is to learning a little more about the channel, because I know the basics, how to put it, but also how I have 500 videos. So sometimes for me it's difficult to find it. And I connect my videos with my Google Forms. So I want to know if you can explain a little more how to use the APS YouTube channel. How I said, I know the basic because I saw your video for the last year, the how to use it. So and one question. So right now I have 500. So it's like unlimited data that I can put in there, or it's like a limit for videos?
Yeah, and I don't think that there's any limitations around that, but we can certainly check. Okay, that sounds good. So I think just kind of going through some of the more advanced features in terms of organization around YouTube would be good. We'll go ahead and do that. How about you, Ann? Did you have anything specific?
I don't know if it's specific. It is kind of, I just did everything by the seat of my pants, you know, just flying by last year, and just I have everything in my YouTube organized by playlists, and then I started getting more specific of here that this is for Spanish, like Edgenuity tutorials for Spanish students, and then I had Spanish tutorials, and then I had tech tutorials for staff. So I finally started organizing those, but it's really been like I'm just throwing it up there, putting it as unlisted, and just getting it out. And I haven't figured out how to organize it all except sit down, I don't know, and somehow figure that out. But I also want to learn how to maybe, I don't know what that program she was talking about, but you know, I'm also a Spanish teacher, so I wanted to learn how to make my own like little grammar videos, like little fun videos. I was thinking like Powtoon. I don't know. I haven't had a chance to really play with that, or if there's something I can do more with YouTube. And then I guess to make my own videos, because sometimes I can't find anything on YouTube, or it's too long, or it's boring. So I want to do my own thing, but I just haven't had time to do that as much.
Okay. Yeah. So we could definitely go over some a few different editing tips and tools and things that you can do to kind of spice that up and kind of pre-plan organization. So I'm just going to go through the slide deck a little quickly then in terms of some of the stuff I had covered, because I wasn't sure if I needed to anticipate really kind of the expertise that people have. It's kind of been all over the place in terms of attendees. So I wanted to kind of cover the basics. So I'll kind of fly through this real quick, and then we'll get into YouTube and some more advanced editing tools. So really quickly, I think you guys already signed in or saw this, but it's on the second page. If you don't mind doing that, that'd be awesome. I actually meant to delete that slide. So getting started with video and creation tools. Really, there's a couple of tools that work really well that are free. So I wanted to share that. So I don't know if you guys have played with Loom, but like Loom and then also Screencastify are really easy, fast, simple tools that you can collect content in. And truth be told, I actually have used both of them. So if I want to use kind of like a cleaner, I don't know, aesthetically more well put together screencast, like in terms of like the webcam and things, I'll use Loom, but it's very rare. Most of the time I use Screencastify, and I'll explain why in a minute. So these are very simple, right? You all know that when you add extensions, you just simply add the extension to your browser with the Chrome browser, and it's there and installed and ready to use at any time. Of course, you have to go in your settings and allow the camera and the mic to be used, and usually it prompts you on the way in, so that's pretty standard. And then you get this interface where you can launch the recording, basically like dialog box for how to record your own videos. So unless you have something like a Movavi or a Camtasia or a Captivate, these are really good tools to use in terms of embedding your webcam on top of like a screencast for like recording your screen for some sort of online learning lesson, or really just sharing your screen in general. So a couple things here. So in this slide deck, there's a couple of links, and actually I'm going to repost it because we have Lisa joining us now. So I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste that again. And Lisa, welcome. If here's the slide deck that I'm going through, so you can access that. On slide 2, there's a sign-in form. So if you don't mind doing that, and then you can follow along.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure thing. So now, there's a couple things I just wanted to kind of draw attention to. So personally, when I record videos, I like Screencastify because it saves it to my drive. So Screencastify automatically creates a folder in your Google Drive, and every time you record a video, it saves it there. Whereas Loom, it has its own dedicated like storage space, and you can share the videos kind of similarly to Google Drive with like links and things, but it hosts things internally at their site. So you have to access that library through their website versus your Google Drive. And so you can download the videos and put them in your Google Drive, but it's really not synced to your kind of core apps that you have. So that's why I primarily use Screencastify versus Loom. And that's just for initial video recording. So anytime that I want to do any kind of really quick, raw screencast video recording, I typically use Screencastify because it's the fastest. And then there's a couple other things in terms of downloading. So like when you download from Loom, you'll see that it lives in its own like video folder, and you can invite people. You can copy a link and give them that link. Similarly to Drive, you can download the video. And here's where I download the video and go into a separate editor to work on that video. You can also invite others to edit or add people to the space to access the videos. So that's what Loom looks like. In terms of Screencastify, you'll see that it has kind of this area where you have all your recordings collected in one space. And it's basically linked to a folder in your drive, and then you can share that with people. What's nice about Screencastify as well is you can copy a link, a shareable link right away. So you can really quickly record a video, copy a link, and send it off. So oftentimes when we were helping individuals this last year in COVID, they would call us and say, hey, how do you do this one thing? I need to get this done for my class. I need it done in short order. And instead of writing out documentation or steps or having them go watch like some sort of video that maybe includes some of what they're asking and some of what they're not asking, I just go in there and record specifically what they're trying to accomplish, and I send them a video, and it's been a huge success in terms of helping. So this could be something that you use with students, to just say, like, for those of you struggling with accessing or gaining or learning this one thing, or engaging with this one thing, you can go in here and do this, this, and this, and then just record a video of yourself demoing that on their device. So it's really good for that. In terms of editing videos, this is typically what I've used in the past. So a lot of people have Macs, so they have like iMovie as their native onboard video editing tool. And there's a lot of people who use Camtasia. And that's actually one that I use. And I was forced to get this new PC, and I have iMovie and Camtasia on my other computer, my older one. So I don't have those installed on this computer, but I can definitely show you Premiere, and we can look at a few other things. A big one that really professionals use is Captivate. So Captivate's been a long time, really, really high-end, kind of expensive video editing tool for screencasts. And then, of course, there's Premiere Pro, which is the Adobe tool. So there's a few different tools in terms of like video editing. So I'm just going to kind of demo what that looks like. So I know that Ms. Kuna mentioned that she does Movavi. And so that is, let me add this over here real quick. And actually, I'm going to jump out of the presenting on this slide deck and then jump into a different window so we can kind of go through a few items here. So here is basically the web store. So the web store is where you download Screencastify. So when you do it, you just simply add it and you can download it. So I'll just kind of quickly demo this, and then we'll kind of look at Movavi. So Screencastify is kind of nice in the sense where I really can go to any website. So let's see. Let me find just a random slide deck here. So I'm going to go to the Digital Promise website, right? And if, say, this is a content-rich website that you want to share with your students or review, or maybe this is a lesson plan, you can simply click, I don't want updates. You can click on, actually, this might be better to do it this way. So I'm going to go into this Google Classroom. And when you're in a Google Classroom, this is actually a Google Classroom that principals use, which is fun and interesting. But if you wanted to do a screencast, you can simply click on the extension up at the top. So I have them right here at the very top. And you can do some things like embed your webcam. So that's not going to work right now because I'm in a Google Meet. But what will happen, though, is it'll show the webcam, and you can select which one. So it's wanting to select the integrated webcam on my laptop versus the HD Pro webcam. That's the one I'm using for our Meet. But you can do that as well. If I flipped open my lid, it would do that, but I'm going to turn that off for now. And then my default microphone is actually using the Snowball mic, which I have on my desktop, which is nice. And then you can go forth and record, and it's pretty simple. So on the fly, you can really select some specific things that you want to record and share. And then you have these tools down here. So what's nice is you have tools like you have a kind of a click prompt. You have like a focus area, which is nice. You go to classic, and then this fireworks every time you click. It's kind of fun stuff. Oops, you can close that. You could do some other things like append, so you could do markup. So when you're doing your videos, you can do real markup like this, like check out this, and then you can clear selection. You can change the color and do stuff like that. So you see that Screencastify is actually pretty nice in the sense where you could do some like fun stuff. So like I can put this right here, like this is really important, so make sure to draw attention to that. And then next week we're going to celebrate and do this. And you know, make sure to check upcoming videos. So just a lot of fun stuff like that, which is nice with Screencastify. And then you can pause the recording. So like you can pause it and then play it again and then continue recording. So if you need to take a quick pause, and then you could just navigate through the different sections and you know, things like that. And then you get all the useful information you want. And then when you're done, you just hit stop. And then what it does is it gives you this dialog box. So if you get the pro version of Screencastify, you can get an editing tool with it, and then you could just rename it. So so here I'll just say Tech Camp demo, July 14th, 2021. And what's nice about this is you can get information about it, view details, you can delete it, you can open it in editor, or you can copy a link. So I can just simply copy this link and then like share it with you. So like if I'm in a meeting with somebody, I could say, hey, check out my video. And then I post it and people can access and play it. And then you can do some simple things like clipping it, like clipping the video, some simple trim stuff. So that's nice. And then I'm gonna show you a couple other quick tricks before we move on to like more advanced editors of YouTube. So you can do some other things. So like you'll see here that here's your sharing option. So you can actually link your Screencastify to YouTube and then publish it outright. So if you don't have any kind of like intro or anything like that, then that's fine. You can get embed code or you can send via email. You can also download a few different things. So you can export as MP4, export the audio only, or just do an animated GIF, or you can download the video outright. So typically the video format is like a proprietary .webm file, and so you don't want to just download it outright. You want to export as MP3. So if you export it, what it'll do is it'll start the export, and you'll see it down here in the bottom, and actually did it twice. Why did it do that? That's weird. Okay, well anyways, it's exporting it twice here for some reason. And then you can download it. And then you see it just downloads to my desktop. So then you can open that up and play it or do what you will. What's nice about this too is you can also do very simple things. So you can do recordings like animated GIFs. So I'm gonna show you something real quick. So when we make slide decks for like training purposes, we use animated GIFs inside of the video, and I'm going to show you the value of that. So I'm going to add a new slide, and then I'm going to go back to like Google Classroom, and then I'm going to hit record, and then I'm going to hit record again. And actually, you know what? I'm going to not record right away. I'm going to turn off my mic. So when you do animated GIFs, you don't really need a microphone. You're just showing steps. So I'm going to hit record. I'm going to share my screen, my window for this. And then I'm going to close this bar and hide this. And then I'm going to simply say, you know, here's how you add something. Here's your classwork section. You can scroll down and access these things. You can see your classmates, and you can check your grades. And then you're done with your animated GIF. So let's just say the animated GIF was saying, here's how you navigate through Google Classroom. And then what you could do is you just see it's a short video. So then what you could do is go to download, and then you can export as animated GIF. And it'll actually resize the animated GIF to what they can export based on the length of the video. So if it's a really long video, the smaller it'll be. If it's a short video, so this is good for like, here's how you do this one little task inside of a thing, and then you can export it. But so if you're unfamiliar with it, an animated GIF is basically an image. Like, you know, you see a lot of them with memes. They just move, and they're like, it's like a still frame image sequence of things. So it basically turns the video into an animated GIF of images. So you can download the animated GIF, and then you can add that to your slide deck. So say how to navigate Google Classroom. So this is a really handy tool in terms of like creating like how-to documentation or doing engaging slide decks with your students. And so I'm going to add or insert an image, and I'm going to upload from my computer. I'm going to select it from my downloads, and then it was untitled because I didn't name it. And then I'm just basically adding an image, and that image is the video. So when your kids come here, they can see just a quick little like snapshot of how to do something. And so and for some weird reason or another, I didn't capture the navigation up at the top. But anyways, you get the point. So you can slide an animated GIF inside of here. It's really nice. And that's kind of fun. So that's another valuable thing in regards to like using Screencastify. You can open this in an editor if you have the pro version. And this isn't doesn't have all the bells and whistles of like a Movavi. So the thing about what Iveth uses with Movavi is the fact that it's not only a screen capture software that records similarly to Screencastify, but it also has the markups of like how to do things. So you can, it just basically gives you a tutorial, yada, yada. It's kind of nice. And here you just got some stuff so you can add some text and say, yeah, navigate. Awesome. And then you can resize and do kind of your standard editing things. You can select from different fonts up here, and I think he uses Google Open Fonts, so you have a pretty good selection of fonts. And you can mess with the color and do all those kind of standard editing things. So it's kind of nice. Oops. Oops, so we'll see, but you get wonky things like this, right? So unless you select the tools, so it just takes a lot of play and that sort of thing. So, but definitely lots of fun. And then you just edit it down in the timeline. You can, do things like that. Nice is. So, anyways, you kind of get the idea. There's some different things you could do. You could clip. So you'll see here that it says upgrade. So actually I paid for a year of pro and then it expired. So this is edit free. So they actually made edit as part of like the free tool, but you can't make videos longer than 5 minutes, which is actually a good thing. I don't know if Screencastify didn't think this through, but typically you want to keep your videos under 5 minutes just for attention span purposes. So this is actually pretty good for the free version. Then you can export the video, and then you can export to Google Drive or export to MP4. And when you go to Google Drive, you could say, you can name it whatever. And that's it. Then you can also share the video, get share links, copy the link, give appropriate settings like with using Google. So I'm going to change this back to private. Hit done, and that's it. And then, of course, in Screencastify too, you can go to your My Videos section where it has a ton of these videos. And you can see all the videos I did during COVID. It was a crazy amount. And these really just live in your Google Drive. So like here in my Google Drive, if I scroll down to Screencastify, it creates a dedicated folder, and here's all the videos. It just automatically saves in there. And I'm trying to see where my test is at. And I don't think this is an alpha order, but it's in here. Oh, there you go. There's one video, and that's the one I exported just now at the bottom here. So anyways, you see that it's kind of a nice workflow. When you get into Loom, you could do the same thing. So Loom just has kind of a similar interface where you can record your entire desktop, a current tab. You can select your microphone or your webcam. And here you'll notice too that I can't toggle that off and on, but you got to tab it off here. So you have some basic settings, I guess. And so what I'm going to do is just hit record here. And you'll notice that my webcam is using my integrated laptop camera that's closed, so it's not going to show anything. But it has this nice slick little circle at the bottom, which is kind of cool. And you can actually make it bigger and pop it out, and then pop it back down. And then you can kind of go through the website and say, hey, check out Loom. and so it continues recording. And that's basically it. You don't have all the bells and whistles of like a Screencastify. You just basically have start, stop, and done. And then when you're done with that, it opens up the video here where you can test it out. You can rate it. You can comment on it. You can review a transcript, which is kind of nice. You have some preferences and trims similarly to there. You can speed it up. And then you can copy a video link if you just want to share it with somebody outright. And then you can make it public similarly to Google Drive. And that's about it. It's pretty simple with Loom. Some people prefer Loom, but I think that the limitations of it really aren't worth it, really, to be honest. And then you have your own video kind of library here that lives within the system itself. So anyway, it's just another free tool. Movavi is fairly new on the market. They actually came out in 2019 into the educational space. And they're a company, I believe, out of Chicago or the area there. So it's kind of a cool software. So I'm just mentioning this because I've mentioned that she got it. So you can download it for free. You can pay for a different version, but you can do simple screen captures like that. You can edit videos within Movavi. It's kind of nice because it has like effects and overlays and upper thirds and titles and like arrows and all kinds of stuff to mark up your video. So you can really do some advanced editing inside of Movavi, which is nice. And then export it. So just a lot of great tools. I think we would probably have to have a dedicated session regarding like video editing tools to really dive into some of those pieces. But I will say I'm going to share. I'm going to go drop into YouTube right now.
Aaron, can I ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Great, now it just went out of my brain. Okay, so for the Google trainer videos, I still have to make, for my application to become a Google trainer. Yeah. What would you recommend to use for that? Because I think you have to make it longer than 5 minutes. And then, that was the other question, is the Mojave, is that what it is? Movavi, whatever?
Movavi, yeah.
Movavi. How long are the lengths on that? Because I am used to just making them 5 minutes, but if I need to make something longer for... Oh,
yeah, well, when you buy the pro version, like I got the same, you don't have limitations on length, okay. So you can exceed that. If you buy the pro version of Screencastify, the same thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so it's just a matter of cost at that point, to be honest. What's nice though is you could use like a Screencastify, Loom, or Movavi to record your screencasts or like video clips, and then what you could do is string them together inside of like an iMovie or Premiere or some other video editing tool.
Oh, okay, that's what I was wondering.
So I mean, there's that option as well.
Right. I just can't remember how long that application video is supposed to be. I gotta go look back at the requirements.
Oh yeah,
to become a Google trainer. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I need to learn how to string them together. Then that's all.
Yeah, and so like you'll notice here too, like Camtasia is another one. It's one of my personal favorites. It's one of the TechSmith ones from like Snagit. And so if you've ever used Camtasia, you can download a free trial, but it's basically
looking to make your first video. You don't need a big budget or fancy editing skills to make an effective tutorial, product demo, or training video. Simply record your screen and add a few effects. With Camtasia, you can make engaging videos quickly and confidently. Record anything on your computer screen: websites, software, webinars, presentations, or bring in your own files. Create engagement by adding callouts, animations, and transitions, or help your viewers follow along with built-in cursor effects. With a few clicks, you can customize the video to match your brand or style with intros, music, and lower thirds. End up with a professional-looking video your viewers actually watch. Then share directly to your favorite hosting site. With a Camtasia video, you get more viewer engagement and help.
Yeah, so anyways, there's just a quick snapshot of Camtasia. So Camtasia is like Movavi in the sense where you have the markups, so you can add like arrows and call out boxes and little animations, and you have a timeline where you can actually edit things pretty comprehensively. And then you have unlimited timeline space. So I actually use all of our EdTech videos. I create them in Camtasia personally. Some of our staff, what they do is they use like an iMovie, and what they'll do is, so we have like a little intro that we put in. So they'll string it together an intro with their Screencastify video and then do stuff like that. But I like to do highly produced ones with like music and like backgrounds and all kinds of stuff like that. So just depending on what you do. So some of my staff are less advanced in video and they have a different comfort level, where it just depends on your experience with that. But I will say though that Camtasia, in my opinion, is worth the money, but it's you can see it's expensive. So we bought it through not through our department. So we have a few licenses, then they're like $300 now each. But like if you want something a little more affordable, Movavi is probably the way to go, in the sense that it's not as expensive. So like, let me see if they even have the cost up here for Movavi. So you'll see Movavi Unlimited. That's a bigger version. There's different levels here. So like the Video Editor Plus, I think, is the one that maybe iVeth has. So that's probably it, or maybe the Screen Recorder. So these are actually all new. So I haven't messed with Movavi in a couple of years. So it looks like they've kind of branched out their options for this. So anyways, there's a couple of cool things you can use, but you'll notice they come with a cost. So it might be something worth like advocating for, if you can get something like through your school that you can share with others or create videos for. If you want to go the free route, you can use iMovie and just simply use Screencastify and then chunk out your videos with less than 5-minute clips and then stream them together inside of like a movie maker on your Dell or a iMovie on your Mac. So just some options there in terms of capturing that. In terms of like the APS videos that we do, the things that like, so like me, like when I do these videos,
This is the checkers game.
Sorry about the ad. I don't like how you can't add ads or monetize educational videos, but yet YouTube does it for you. That's the only downside of YouTube. Oops. So like when you're doing things like this, I do like, you do a little, I did this quick intro, but I did this quick intro. I developed it inside of After Effects, like a motion graphics tool, which is Adobe. So if you want to get more advanced, we can actually offer some things like that to create some sort of branding for your teacher space.
Get started. Extend the arm and back of the camera.
And so here, like I use Camtasia to do a video overlay, audio overlay. And so I got video clips, and then I just overlaid my audio and recorded audio by itself and overlaid it over this. And so you could do things like this. So I use like a Camtasia, and sometimes use iMovies to like string together things like this. But what's nice is you could drop in images like this and then little call out arrows, which is kind of fun. And so you get these kind of professional looking videos that are easily kind of like managed. And I'll give you another one. So like, I actually don't like this. We're probably going to redo this, but I don't like this black background, but somebody just made that and we just stuck with it. But it's really kind of all about branding. So like when you get into YouTube, you really want to kind of have standard branding to your videos. And you see some of the big YouTube stars, they actually have like intro slides, or they have like basically like a standalone image as a start with like, so it's similar, right? So you have like the icon of what you're talking about, a title, and some other stuff, or maybe a short clip of you laughing with some music or whatever, right? You have some sort of branding that people recognize your videos for, and I think that's important when you start doing that. Do you have a question?
Yes, I have a question, but it's something different, something that you said about Adobe. I believe it's Adobe Acrobat. So
no, After Effects.
Sorry. Well, my question is about Adobe. So we have some license for Adobe for this year for APS.
Okay. Oh, are you asking me if we do? Yeah, we actually purchase volume purchase licenses that you can purchase individually. So if you wanted to get Adobe, you can purchase that on your own for $10 a user per year, or you can have the school do it. So we take we allow people to buy it personally for their own personal use or for their classroom. And if you have Adobe, you get the whole master collection for $10 a year, which is crazy cheap. And that includes After Effects, Adobe Premiere, which is their primary video editing tool. And really, that's the only one I have on this computer that I can actually open and show you if you wanted to see it. But After Effects is motion graphics. But what's nice about that is if you're comfortable enough with technology, you can like get Adobe CC for $10 in the district, and then you can open up After Effects and play with it a little bit. And then After Effects, there's like free templates online that you can download, and you basically just open up that file inside of After Effects and then make a few tweaks and edits to all the different complexities that are involved with it. But you can probably figure it out. If you're interested, we haven't offered it before because there hasn't been enough interest. I can definitely do a training on Adobe After Effects on how to create motion graphics, like a bunch of cool intro videos, and you can do all kinds of crazy stuff in After Effects. But it's mostly for like customized special effects, motion graphic type work.
Yes.
And then you'll see when Camtasia, when I showed that video, they actually have a built-in thing to create like title slides and stuff too. So it just depends on your comfort level.
I think I would be interested in learning that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, I use them a little bit. I use them first for the PDF, but right now I tried this. So many things they have at Adobe, and also you can make your own cartoons and things. So if you know in the future can need one of these training, please. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, and maybe what it might be appropriate too is for us to put out like a basic getting started video with After Effects that they can watch on your own, and then maybe look at offering some stuff, because both Karn and I are former computer graphics film teachers, so we have pretty extensive knowledge with those tools, so we can definitely show it. It's just highly advanced, you know, timeline management and asset management, like interactive. Like it's similar, it's like timeline coding. So if you ever worked in Flash back in the day, it's kind of similar in terms of how you work with things with like keyframes and all that. But it's a lot of fun. So and then you basically, I downloaded that template that I showed you, that intro from some website, and then I just tweaked it to make it look like our branding. So some fun stuff you could do there. Now, I guess what I really wanted to do is just kind of go through some organizational pieces around your YouTube channel. So obviously you have your branding. We probably need I would rather have a picture of like kids interacting with tech up here, but for the purposes of saving time, when we built our YouTube channel, right when COVID hit, we had just started it. We had it, but we didn't really do anything with it, but I just tried to spruce it up with some images that are relative to Albuquerque. So you want to definitely update your channel through Creator Studio. And then you could do some things like update your picture, your icons. We just use an icon of our logo. You can change your banner image. You can upload watermarks, which we have here with our little EdTech logo. So there's a few things that you can do there. You can also organize all your videos. So what I was going to suggest in terms of like cleanup is going through your videos in Studio. And I'm going to go to content here. Going through all your videos in Studio and checking off all the ones that you need to, like, that are old or that you don't really need to use anymore. Check the boxes. And then what you could do is do things like, I mean, for posterity purposes, you probably don't want to delete it, but what you could do is change the visibility. So you can change them to like unlisted or private, so nobody can access them, but you still have them there if you ever need them. So that's what I would do in terms of like cleanup. For older videos. So first step I would do is make them private or unlisted. Probably private if you absolutely nobody needs to see them anymore. All the videos that you don't need anymore, all the old ones. Then what I would do is take any relevant, still useful videos, and then I would organize them in playlists. The other thing I would do too is make sure that I have all the appropriate settings for that. So typically if you don't want them public or searchable inside of YouTube, you want to do it unlisted, so anyone with a video link can see the video, but the video won't appear on the channel page, or it won't appear in YouTube search results. So that's kind of a way to kind of keep it private, but still public and only accessible to people who know where it's at. Of course, if you have public, let's find some public videos here. I think most of our videos are unlisted because we post them on our website, so they're accessible through specific means. But we definitely have some that are public. So like our main training videos are all public, and you'll notice that everyone can find them, see them, and search for them. Yeah, and then you'll see, just really quick to cover the last piece, only you and people you choose can see the video with private. So this won't appear in search results or anything else. So typically you can do unlisted. So I think the caveat there is private can be in playlists, but I believe unlisted can be in playlists. But you're doing a call out of that playlist, which is public, that people can find those videos where they otherwise wouldn't be able to because they're unlisted, if that makes sense. So let's kind of go through and create a playlist. So what I would do is just make sure my primary thing would be is either delete or make private all the videos that you don't want to use anymore, for sure, no matter what, right away. Anything that's still relevant that you still want to use, I would change them to the appropriate level of visibility, whether that's public or unlisted. And then once all that's done, then I would go into playlists. And then I would say, okay, well, I have all these videos. Now, how do I organizationally categorize them and make them available? So, because we went back and forth even with like our videos. So we have instructional videos, which we started off with, which are for like our EdTech skill progression explorer level classes. But then we thought, well, those can also be, so we basically had overlap. We decided that we're going to do these categories, but then some of these videos are going to appear in multiple playlists because of the category. So like these ones right here, this one has Google, Gmail, and Calendar. So that's part of an instructional video for teachers as part of our EdTech skill progression. But that Google and Gmail video should also be in our Google playlist. So we have like different tool playlists. There we go. Let's see. So we have G Suite. So they would go in our G Suite training. It also could be in our core Google tools. We've had very specific reasons why we wanted to add these different playlists for specific initiatives or what have you. And then we have like playlists for like Google Docs. So like there's so many, Google Docs is such a big tool and so many different pieces to it. We actually have a dedicated playlist for that video and that app. So just depending on how you want to organize it, I would just kind of break it down. Maybe create something like a sitemap. So if you're familiar with a sitemap, the sitemap is like what websites use to organize content. And it basically does like a list of things and then sub bullets of that list. Like, so it's basically categorization of all your content. So what I would do is maybe start a Google Doc and just type out everything and log it somehow. And then just kind of think clearly about, one, how do I want to organize it? And two, when people are searching for it, especially my students, is it going to be easy for them and intuitive for them to find the specific category? Because you could say like, well, I'm going to organize it for myself. And then you organize it, and then it makes no sense to somebody else, or especially a student or a kid. So you want to keep the audience in mind. So like, what would be the easiest thing for them to find? What would be their search terms for looking for videos and playlists in your respective YouTube channel? So just make sure you keep those key terms and language in mind when you do your categorization, and then you just start creating playlists. So let's see here. I'm going to create a new playlist, and I'm going to title it Google for Education, because I don't think we have one of those specifically. And then right here, you'll see that the playlist actually has these parameters as well. So this kind of goes to your question, Iveth. So I'm going to make this unlisted for like this, presuming it's students. And I'm going to go ahead and create that. And then now I have 0 videos in here, but there's my playlist. So I'm going to go ahead and edit that playlist. And here you can still toggle between the different areas. You can edit the name if you want. You can add a description or whatever, right? I'm just kind of throwing stuff in here. But just give it a description. Save that. It's on our EdTech channel. And so there's no videos here yet. So what you can do here is click on this. I'm having some mouse issues here. So you'll see that you can add videos, you can add collaborators. So what's nice about this is I can collaborate. So collaborators can add videos to the playlist. So you can toggle that on. So like say you have a PLC or you have videos at grade level or you have peers that you want to collaborate with, you can actually share a link where they can add videos to it. So like, just say you want to give, like, let's say Lisa wants to give access to Anne to add videos to her playlist that she's making. She can actually do that by sharing this playlist link, and then they can log into YouTube and access that. So, and then you could delete the playlist. So I want to add videos. That's what I wanted to do. Let me go back to my my studio. And really, I didn't mention this or draw attention to this earlier, but basically you do all your editing and management of your YouTube channel inside of Studio. I think you all know that already. Here's where you get all your channel dashboard information. You can manage comments, see subscribers, publish videos, likes, dislikes, etc. You can manage your content, and then of course your playlists. Let's see if I can edit something that already exists. So I am going to edit instructional videos, but you basically get a dialog box that allows you to select your existing videos that you've uploaded. So basically what it does is it shows these videos, and it lets you select which ones you want to add to your playlist. So before you create, you can actually do a couple things. So organizationally, if you create like a sitemap of your playlist or an organizational structure for your playlist, you can create the playlist, and then you can go forth and upload all your videos if you have videos to upload. If not, you can just pull from existing videos that you have and add them to that playlist. And then what you can do is, once you're in here, is you can drag and drop these videos in specific order. So you can organize which video plays first and what sequence. So you might actually have a sequence of videos. This might actually be a good strategy for flipped classrooms. If you have like a unit or homework, you can actually do like a flip model for homework, where like once a week they have to watch one video and then give feedback or be prepared to speak about it in class. And it's easy because a kid just has to watch a video versus doing things. So you can do a sequence of videos for week 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they have to watch them in that order. Or they can do a sequence of videos for one lesson that they have to go through. So there's some options and cool things you can do in terms of thinking about how do kids access and digest this content. The other thing you can do is share this. So you can shuffle play it here, and then you can also share it. And this is where you get the link to copy this, and this is what you would post inside of your activity stream inside of Google Classroom. And then of course you could do like social media channels and what have you, but if you're into that, you could do that. I don't know if you have any public presence that you would actually share this publicly, but at the very least, if it's an unlisted, so this also goes to what you're asking about earlier, Iveth. If you want to keep just your playlist for your students, if the playlist is unlisted, people won't be able to find it. It won't be in your channel playlist list, and also people won't be able to search for it. But if you wanted the kids to access it, you can copy this playlist. So as long as it's set at unlisted, you can copy it here through the share option, and then post it in the activity stream inside of Google Classroom or in an assignment. So that's kind of a workaround of how to give students access to the playlist without actually making it public. So you can also do that privately as well. You can also do some other things like adding additional playlists to your playlist. But I can add a playlist to my existing playlist, and that's what I did there through Add to All. And for some reason, for adding a video, I can't do it. It's making me sign in, which is weird and wonky. But that's basically what you have for playlists, and part of like managing that content. Some other things you have just really quick are analytics, and you can manage comments. So anytime you upload a video, you can actually reject or depending on how you do it, you can moderate comments. So you'll see here, for some of our videos, we've actually allowed comments and we respond to them for public-facing videos. But typically, we don't allow comments for a lot of our videos, which I don't suspect you want to do with students. But there's a way to like respond and moderate comments. You can also set things up for help for review. So you can review comments first before they're published. You can also look at mentions if people tag your account in like the comment. You can also do subtitles. So there's a way to actually upload subtitles. This might go into what you guys were saying earlier. So what you can do is download the subtitle, and it'll do these common subtitle formats. And then what you can do is upload subtitles. So you can download the transcript in English, maybe have it translated by translation services, or translate it yourself, or translate it with somebody who speaks Spanish or a different language on staff. And then you can upload or add a subtitle. So like here, I am going to duplicate and edit. So basically what you do is you take this, here's the subtitles of this video, and then it goes through a timeline where these things are said. So you can actually customize that. So like right here, it says, welcome to Power School, and you see the subtitles are right there. So we have English subtitles that are, I think, automated. And what you could do is duplicate this and change the language or the information. So let's see here. See? So you can actually update the subtitles or edit them in a different language, like real time, but you have to change it. So I'm going to cancel this actually. Discard changes. And let's see here. This interface changed as well, but I know that there's a publish subtitles and a way to add more subtitles. So this is published automatic English, which YouTube actually auto-generates. And I apologize because I forget, they changed the interface. You used to be able to upload subtitles here. Anyways, I think this is kind of spinning our wheels really with the subtitle thing, because it has real-time subtitles. So if you actually go to the videos themselves, so like if you do subtitles and closed captioning, you can actually turn them on. Oops. By clicking that closed captioning. You can also select a language. And then you can auto-translate it to Spanish. So this is a free automated version that Google rolled out mid-year this last year, where you can, once the video is uploaded and Google scans it and auto-translates it for you, you can actually have the closed captioning settings and options translated to a different language for you automatically. So I'm just going to go down here to Spanish, and then I'm going to play it.
Welcome to the brand new user interface of Google Meet. So we have just gotten this update that's been rolling out for Google Meet,
and although it might not be perfect, this is a really quick way to have auto translation happen without uploading transcripts or managing translations in the area that we were just in. So this is what I would tell your family and your students to do if they speak different languages. It's not going to be perfect, but it'll get close enough where they'll understand through context of the video and the language that's being used in the translations to figure out what's happening. So that's just kind of a cool little tip for that. There's also some copyright things you can do, like claim copyright or remove copyright. This is typically where you get a copyright infringement. So like if you create a video that's claimed as copyright, you can fight it here, or you can justify it here if you have like audio that's included. See, it says you're not eligible for monetization. This is what I was talking about earlier about how Google likes to tag on ads on our videos, but we can't monetize it. So it's kind of a funny thing, but that's Google. And then you can do some customized things. So your channel anyways. So you can do your branding, and this is the space we were in earlier when I hit the edit button for the banner. So under customization, you can do branding. You can do basic channel information, channel URL. Here's where you can copy your URL to save for kids and share it, or for families. You can also change your layout in terms of like featured sections. So if you're on a featured section of videos, you can actually add those sections so they show up first in your channel. And then what's cool about YouTube is you actually have this open source audio library. So you can download these this free music that's like open source music to add to your video. So if you want to add like background music to your video, you can download samples here for free. And they have all kinds of stuff. So, excuse me. So you have basically a library of audio that you can access through YouTube. And then lastly, with your channel here, you can change audio settings. So you can set everything for every video. You can do default features, a lot of different stuff that are like global settings for your entire channel. So like if you do uploads, you can default the title and the description and visibility this will actually be good. So like say all your videos are going to be private or unlisted, you can actually set that and then set tags to them. And so if any video that you do, it'll also take these parameters and apply them to your video automatically, which is kind of nice. You can manage permissions in terms of your brand account. That's kind of not a thing anymore. They got rid of brand accounts and they made you manage them, but then now they have them available. But this is really for if you have like a team of people who need to work on a YouTube channel. And then you can add moderators for your content. You'll see right here that we've actually banned these people because they were posting inappropriate content in their comments of our videos. So you can actually identify specific users and ban them from your channel or hide them. And you can hide them or block words. So you can block words like cuss words or inappropriate language. And that's it. So in terms of creating or uploading a video, so if you want to go live, you can actually do live events as well too. But if you go live, you have to do it 24 hours in advance because it takes 24 hours for it to propagate and get ready for users to actually access it. So for some reason, you have to do a 24-hour like enable your account 24 hours in advance to even use a live stream. And so if you do that, you got to make sure that that you do that well in advance of the video itself. So we have go live already. We use Streamyard, and I'll show you what that looks like if you're interested in live streams as well. But if you upload a video, you've done this already, so you know how this works. You select the video, and I'm going to select. Let's see if I have something here. So I have the Tech Camp demo. And they'll take the title of the video and put it in there. You can give it a description. Here's where I was telling you if you wanted to use like a standardized like branding for your, basically for your videos, you can do that. And I don't know if I have a good photo here, but I basically have headshots and a bunch of other junk, but let's see here. I'll just use this. So you'll see you can select the video and then you can upload that as the primary screen, or you can allow it to auto-generate from your video itself. And then here, if you have all, this is what I was telling you. So if you have all your playlists established, you can just select the one that you want. And so I am going to select the new one that I created. Hit done. You can select if it's made for kids or not. Come on, there we go. So I don't know, you probably want to skip these paid promotion pieces because they're never really used, but tags is important because that's like metadata. So you want to be able to add like Google for education, apps, Drive, whatever you're using, right? So just add the appropriate content, APS, you know, stuff like that. And what's nice though is you can copy these tags and then add them to other videos. But this helps for searchability. You can set a language. You can, if you have certified captions, you can do that, but typically you don't. You can add the recording time and date if you want to give that kind of stamp on it. Standard YouTube license. You can allow. You can uncheck this so people can embed your videos in other places. If you have subscribers, you can actually publish to subscription. So if people subscribe to you and get notifications on your subscriptions when you post, you can allow that. So I usually leave that on. And you can allow short sampling. And then also I tag this as education. So in our global settings, we actually pre-tag all of our videos in education. So remember those global settings I was showing? We pre-tag everything as education for sure. And then here is where, like, so you'll notice that I selected kids. So kids, you can do comments. But if I select no, it's not made for kids, then this becomes available for you to edit. So like if you you can hold inappropriate comments to review or hold all comments to review. So we have global settings for this as well. And that's basically it. And then you go forth and move into the next section. You can add subtitles, you can add screens. We've actually added the cards and screens where you can like put in those little like, they're basically like images in the middle of your video that you can click on to go to the next video. So we've added cards and screens on our titles before to kind of help them navigate into the next series of videos, if that's applicable. And then it'll review your video for copyright, but YouTube has like some sort of algorithm that checks that. And then of course your visibility, you can make it public or private. And you can schedule when you want it published, and then you can save it. And then when you go to your content, it should be on the top of the list. Okay, there it is. So I just filtered so I can find it right away. And so I'm going to delete this. So you can view it on YouTube. You can check the comments. You can do all these things in videos. So I'm just going to go ahead and delete it.
I need to just organize them and create that that Google Doc you talked about of how to organize them.
Yeah. So what I would do, like if you just search up a typical like sitemap.
Sitemap.
I just want to give you a visual of it.
Okay.
Of what that is, but typically we do it like, so when I used to work in the web world, we had a ton of content that was disorganized. We had to do a sitemap to figure out where things go. And there's different versions of sitemaps, but basically it doesn't have to be overly complicated. Like people like to make these videos, but it could just be as simple as a list. And like if you go to, where's a good example? APS.edu is actually a good example. Because they actually have a live sitemap on here, I believe, unless they took it down. There we go. Come on, sitemap. It's all like this, right? Just categorization of content, just indented. So if you could do something like that, it just helps you kind of wrap your head around it. It helps you get some more organizational, categorical framing in your mind. And then once you get it down, you have to just look at it through the lens of a student or a parent or wherever your audience is, and just make sure that it's something that they can find and access. So it's just a good thing to do to try to like organize, a quick way to do that. And
Right.
And that's basically it. I mean, in terms of this, in terms of going live, you can go live through the YouTube itself, and then you can schedule a stream. But by default, the only thing you can do is do a webcam stream. So like if I wanted to do I can go live and just talk to you like I am in this meet. So you can do that at any point. But you need some sort of like, I don't want to do a live stream. But what you could do, what you need though, is you need a streaming service to like serve video. So like, well, I guess what I'm saying is you can't like use YouTube Live to like share your screen. You need a streaming service to share your screen. So we use like Streamyard. And so let's see here. And what's interesting with Streamyard is you enter an email address and then you have to enter a code. They actually have free versions of Streamyard. So I'm going to get it off my phone here from our EdTech email. Okay. So what it does, it's like two-factor authentication. So when I log in, you don't have a password. It sends you an email with a code. So you got to keep your email really highly secure. And then I log in and close. And then what you do is create a broadcast. So we've done a few live events. You create a broadcast. You link it to your channel. You call it, I'm just going to call it Tech Camp Test. You can make it public or private, same settings as in YouTube. And then you can create broadcast. And then you have to allow this. So I haven't done it on this new computer that I told you I got. So, and then my name is unmute. And enter the studio. And the studio actually went into the live view, which is interesting. So I can invite people. So if I invite people, I can copy to the clipboard. I'm gonna share this with you in our Meet chat. So if you click on that link, you can actually join my live stream. So there's tools like this where you can go live. So if you have a community event at your school, you can actually do stuff like this, which is pretty slick. So if you guys want to join or click that link, it can show you how you join. It's kind of fun. Well, in the meantime, I'll show you like you can do things so like this. So like we created banners that said 3-minute bio break when we're doing live streams. We have this little kind of lower thirds for like when we're showing something that's related to students. So it's a student view or a teacher view. So you can create banners, which is nice. You can actually create new ones right there. So Iveth joined us. So I'm going to add her to the stream. See, and then I removed her from the stream. She's going to have echo because of the audio here, but you'll see that our camera's not on. So but that's basically like that. So like if I do this, when I select the two people, I can add both of us. We can have a conversation in chat or share things. And I can share my screen. So you have to do that by sharing screen. And Iveth could do the same thing. So I'm going to share that. And so like I'm sharing my crazy screen. And you know, I'm talking on one side if my camera was on, but my camera that I'm using for our Google Meet's being occupied, so it's calling my laptop camera again. But anyways, here's this live stream, and you can do branding. Like you could throw your logo up there at the top. You can do overlays. Oops. You can do overlays like this during your live stream. You have a private chat that you can do with participants who are part of your live stream. And then you can also moderate chat and do other settings within your live stream as well. So anyways, you can just click go live here and it actually initiates YouTube live. So I'm going to end this live stream. I'm going to remove Iveth. And I'm going to remove my screen. And then I'm going to leave studio. And then I'm going to, and you'll notice I didn't go live yet. I just went into the interface where you could go live. I'm going to delete that. There we go. So anyways, that's just a quick example of what you could do with live streaming. So you really don't go into this interface at all. Like I never even get in here, but I'm just showing you what it kind of looks like. So a couple different things there. Just make sure your branding's there. Make sure your title's good. Make sure you manage your videos well. Make sure you set your featured area. So remember I showed you there's an area where you can set your features of like what videos you want at the top. So there's some other things like that you can do. In terms of video editing tools, we didn't get too much of that into that today, but if you guys want to, you can create, you can actually request a training from us and we can do that with you specifically. So let me stop sharing this screen and go back to our slide deck real quick and we'll talk about some of those options. So like in, so again, you have your video editing tools. You have to just kind of pick which one you want to do. We talked a little bit about publishing videos. One thing I didn't talk about is publishing to YouTube. I did a little bit with Screencastify, if you recall. Everything's saved in Drive. I showed you the option for downloading those videos. So once you download those, you can pull those from your downloads folder inside your laptop into your Google Drive and organize them that way. So those are basically the two options, is publishing to YouTube and then publishing or adding to your Google Drive, which you guys are really good at already from this year of COVID. In managing content in Google Drive. If you go to motion array, you're talking about maybe dabbling a little bit with After Effects. So one, you got to get the Creative Cloud. And I'm actually going to stop presenting so I can show you my entire screen. It's quite big, so I apologize for the mess. But the motion array is a good one where you can get like these, you can select like free templates. And let's see here. And I think they'll be tagged with free or not. There's a way to, oh yeah, right here. So you can select free. And so like something like this, you can get a template for it and just add images. So like you could do the cinematic one, right? 80 style. And basically you can download it and you get something that does this. And then you can just edit the text. And then you have this slick, cool intro that you can edit inside of After Effects. And all you do is edit the text or put your logo in there. Yeah, so like there's things you could do like that, and there's a bunch of other free ones that are kind of fun. So there's free resources to help you get started. And then of course the Adobe Creative Cloud. Once you get it, you can install whatever apps you want. So like all apps right here, I shows my installed and then it shows the apps that I can install. So for $10 a month, you can get all these apps. And then I installed some of the essentials. So I use After Effects. So After Effects, once you download those free templates, which they have a ton of, you can open them inside of After Effects and start editing them, which is really fun. So I just want to, I guess, leave you with that. Like, there's some cool ways you could get started if you have an Adobe license. You could download the template, open After Effects, but you basically just open it up, edit it. You could follow. So what's nice about these two is they have tutorials with them. So so if you download something like this, you can actually watch a tutorial on how to edit it. Or sometimes it'll give you like little packets on how to edit it. And so it's kind of nice to give you like step-by-step instructions. So it's a good place to self-start with stuff like this. And it's just something that you might want to do. If I had to make a recommendation, I would do Movavi or Camtasia if you wanted to get a really good screencast tool for something as simple and fast to share videos that's linked to your Google Drive. I would recommend Screencastify. Motion Array is a good free one. It's where I get most of my templates. There's not a lot of places that offer free templates. So Motion Array is definitely one of them. There's a box right here. I don't know if you can see it right here where my cursor is waving around. It says free. It's right here in the very top. You could barely see it. It's above the middle top box right there. But you'll see where my cursor is waving around. That's where, if you just check that box, then that's all. Those are all the free ones. And the website is here. And yeah, check it out. I can't, After Effects just opened, so I can show you that really quickly. You can create a new project and create a new composition, and then you can give it a settings like HD, whatever, and then you can set the pixels. So it's understanding frame rates in pixels, and you could do like 4K or HD or 720p, and then you create this. Those templates that you get are usually HD, they're not 4K. And then what you get is you have to import like files, like basically like video files and what have you. So like you could do stuff like this. Like I'm uploading images and videos, and then you can drop videos inside of your timeline, or all of them. Oops, I don't want to do that. You could drop them down here in the timeline. And then you just got to learn how to work within the composition. So for some reason, this isn't showing up here, and I don't know why. But anyways, you could play with it. There's it's so many different little tools in here in terms of like editing text and adding video and adding motions. And then you get really complicated with, there it is, just took a minute to load. You can resize these videos to fit the area. And then you can do transitions where like you do keyframes where like 3 seconds in, I want to change I want the opacity to be at 100%. And then I'm going to fade it to 0%. And then I'm going to fade it back into 100%. Like this is just a really crude example of that. But, and then when you play it, you have tools like you have a like kind of a clip prompt, you have like a focus area. So anyways, that's how you like you basically do some like keyframe editing. So it's more advanced editing, but it's a fun way to start if you want to really expand your repertoire of advanced features. A good place to start for motion graphics is After Effects and Premiere. I would definitely get comfortable again with a Movavi and a Camtasia if you just want to get really good at markups for screen, like really good screencasts with different markups and animations in there. That's kind of intermediate, more advanced levels, but this is definitely high-end, advanced, professional level. So let me know if you guys want to dabble in some of this, and we'll set some up. And again, you know, use those links in the slide deck that I shared. And so again, thank you, and let me know if there's anything else you guys need along the way.